are now literally run by drug gangs who terrorize the defenseless with little fear of detention. No bail is, of course, a get-out-of-jail-free card. Governors Gavin Newsom and Kathy Hochul are playing Monopoly with people's lives. Miscreants, including hard drug dealers, have little to fear in the empire and other states. I hope the citizenry will finally wise up at the ballot box. But it is getting late. Back after this. You can now watch new episodes of the No Spin News live on Samsung TV Plus. Tune in each weeknight at 8 p.m. on the First TV for breaking news, honest analysis, and the best election coverage in America. Please join me, Bill O'Reilly, at the First TV, now available on Samsung TV Plus. Start watching today on your Samsung television, Galaxy devices, or the Samsung TV Plus mobile app. Check out the No Spin News each weeknight at 8 p.m. on the First TV, Samsung TV Plus. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Good morning, freedom lovers. Good morning, Ken.
Good morning, Vic.
Good morning, Vic Heads.
Good morning, Vic Heads.
You patriotic bunch of Vic Heads.
You patriotic people, you.
Big day today. It's Thursday, of course. Karen Kataline warming up her arm in the bullpen, careening into the abyss at 9:25 today. She wants to be perfectly clear. That's all. We don't even have to do that segment
She wants to what?
Just be clear. She wants to be clear. The
I've never
president
heard her
wants to
say
be-
that.
No?
No.
I might have missed it. I'm so sorry. Nate Lucas. I want to see what Nate Lucas has to say about, A, the LSU basketball team not coming out for the national anthem and then the governor getting involved.
Yeah.
Because you brought up a great point yesterday. We don't want government getting too involved in things. And I agree with that. But, have some sense about where you live.
Well, there are a couple things, like safety and being patriotic. I mean, what about a flag?
All right.
And never mind.
Speaking of the flag, Porcelli's Deli at 10:25 today. Speaking of the flag, who leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance today? Ken.
From Rhino Shield, Darren Crook.
He owes us a visit, doesn't
Yes,
he?
he does.
Is he mad at us?
No, he's just
What's his
busy.
problem?
It's great.
What's your problem? Go ahead, Darren.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So a priest, a minister, Karen Kataline, and a rabbi walk into a bar. We gotta save the punchline for the rabbi.
The one and only Karen Kataline.
Did you know that I'm married to a trucker?
I feel like using a Yiddish word, famished. Spoiling in front of my computer, I am. They're just too dumb to lie. He has the effect of 6 shots of scotch.
6. Good morning, Karen Kataline. How are you?
Good morning, Vic and Ken. How are you both?
We're good. Opening
Wonderful.
day here in St. Louis today.
I know. Well, opening week was last week, but this is opening home day.
Yes,
right?
I'm sorry. That's all that matters.
No.
Yeah.
So-
In this town.
Well, I had to pick a Broadway. I mean, got too many things on my mind. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Had to pick a team because I wanted to go on MLB, and I picked the St. Louis Cardinals because the Rockies suck.
That's because you got a crush. Because you got a crush on Arenado too, right?
Yes, I do.
Yes. Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Well, you got him from us, so that's the closest I'm ever going to get.
That's one of the first things I remember you saying doing the segment with us was,
Oh, really?
yeah, you Cardinals, you steal all of our Colorado Rockies, and Arenado was one of the people that you
Yeah,
mentioned.
we're just a farm team for you guys.
I remember everything you say. One thing that is certain in life, two things that are certain in life. One, that on Memorial Day, it'll always be raining down the shore in New Jersey, always.
Down the shore.
It's... She got it. Because she lived there, so she's heard down the shore. So, first weekend of summer, Memorial Day, you grab your girlfriend, you want to go down, and it's raining down the shore. It happens every year. Here in St. Louis, it's cold every opening day. Every opening day. Yeah, it
Yeah, well, at least they don't cancel the game. Well, they might cancel the game. They do that. I got a question.
Yes.
I was reading that St. Louis said no to buying another stadium.
Well, that was
for
Kansas
the
City.
Chiefs, Kansas City,
Yeah.
right? And that they're thinking of moving it to Kansas City, Kansas.
Yeah, and we've had Mike, what's his name from the National Center?
Yeah.
Mike, somebody comes on and he talked about that at length on the show. And, it's like, but here's the thing. We don't want the Chiefs, or I don't care about the Royals, but now we have to like the Chiefs because we don't have a football team here. So if they move to Kansas City, Kansas, I mean, that's not good, but I'm not going to be brokenhearted about it over here.
Why do taxpayers have to subsidize these people?
That was my next thing. If you want to stadium, you build it.
They're using it to hang over their head. Well, you like our team? Well, you have to give up your tax money.
Right.
It's so hypocritical.
Yeah, I mean that happened here with the Dome when the Rams played here. They wanted taxpayers to pay for it. And I'm like, hold on, Stan Kroenke, you're the one with billions of dollars. You pay for it. Anyway,
it's amazing because we don't get those kind of perks.
No.
You like my radio show? You better pay for it with your tax dollars.
You want me to be your neighbor? You pay to build my house.
That's right.
Yes, exactly.
Right. So let's talk about Broadway.
Yeah, I hope I got that salary right. I was looking it up before, and I went, "Oh God, I hope I haven't exaggerated." It.
No.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty close. Let me read Karen's tweet from just 2 hours ago. How come Broadway lead actors get $53,000 to $86,000 per week, while scale for chorus and dancers is about $2,400 for the same show? They work harder, you say? Their names bring in business. Where's the income equality? Where's the DEI, right, Karen?
Yeah. And the kicker, socialists never demand socialism of themselves, only of everyone else.
Great line. Great line.
Yeah.
And it's, it's the same thing, I guess, not just on Broadway. I mean, people you watch on TV, right? The anchors on Fox, or anybody who's doing news at a news channel, the big guys you see on TV make all the money, and the people scrambling around for them all day don't make as much.
Well, and I'm not advocating for so-called income equality at all. I think it's perfectly okay if someone can make that much. The problem is the hypocrisy. Profound. We need a new word for hypocrisy, because the great majority of Broadway actors, Hollywood actors, and Hollywood in general, the whole entertainment complex, is made up of extremely far left, commie, socialist liberals. And they constantly are lecturing us, everyone else, about income inequality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a favorite actress who happens to be from Denver. She was a favorite until I saw that in an interview, she happened to just throw in there something about the patriarchy. And I thought, who's putting these words in your mouth, you little pissant?
Right. Wow.
Do you have to do that? And then I just stopped following her career.
Yeah.
She hails from Denver, Colorado, my hometown. And I thought, wow, I'm really excited to follow her career. And then she had to say that. It's like, how ignorant are you anyway?
And it's like, it's so unfair to us. I hate to sound like a little whiner, but it's unfair.
Go ahead, whine.
So it doesn't, it hurts me. But really, when you like something, right, you enjoy watching something or someone, and you really enjoy it, and then a situation happens like you just mentioned, and now I don't want to like you anymore, but I like what you do. You see,
and we have that absolute right.
Yeah,
and that's what's interesting. Oh, just don't pay attention. Well, they're the ones lecturing us constantly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which leads, if you don't mind, to my previous tweet, which I was, it's supposedly old news, but it isn't old news. And that's about Easter and about this whole nonsense that it just is lie upon lie upon lie. First, Biden signs this thing about a transgender visibility day because they're just not visible enough, right? And they have to do it on Easter, and then Biden is so out to lunch that he doesn't even remember he said it. my point, and I'm sorry I just rushed into this, but I have to apologize. I'm Jewish. I have to apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's
I'm sorry. Is that no conservative, normal thinking human being who loves America and the Constitution is allowed to be offended by anything. Anything.
Yeah.
But they can be offended by microaggressions. They can be offended for any reason, and you are obligated to change your behavior. This is a scam. And they set everybody up so that conservatives would call everybody else snowflakes, so that they don't feel like they have a right to complain. And I got to thinking about, well, what's the difference? The difference is that we all, normals, as Schlichter calls us, normals, never intended to offend. We're just out there being ourselves, speaking our mind, but we don't intend to offend. But they make an offense out of something that is simply normal American culture that they're attacking. But yet when they intend to offend and they deliberately provoke, which you cannot look at what happened on Sunday, and I ain't even Christian.
Right. No, but you
cannot look at that and not see it as a deliberate provocation to marginalize a la Saul Alinsky, people of faith, and demonize them. And then when they fight back or they stand up and they say, I'm offended, they say, you see, you're intolerant of us.
Yep.
And it's all a scam. It's every bit the scam as the Nigerian who promises you $40 million or $40 billion if you'll just sign here on the dotted line.
Yep.
But people don't always don't realize what a scam it is. Maybe people are starting, but that just irritated the life out of me.
I think there's no oops there. I don't think there's oops, sorry, we did it close to go ahead.
No, finish your
there's not like I'm sorry. Was that on Easter? I'm so sorry. Because it was already in place on March 31st every year, just happened to fall on Easter this year. And I'm like, well, why don't you do it in June or July where there's no religious holiday that's going to get in the way? Why? They're doing it on purpose to just ridicule people of faith.
Well, and that's if you saw it in a vacuum, you might accept the oops. The only time they ever go oops is when too many people scream bloody murder and mock them and are talking about it. And so that's what people have to do. That's the only time they ever go oops, but they never really change their view.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact is, in a context of constant persecution of anybody that doesn't agree with them, that believes in God, that thinks good is maybe better than evil, they're going to persecute them. And then if they get caught a little too much, they'll go, oops. How many of these do you have to see before you realize what's going on?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are realizing they just have to get louder.
Yeah. And our side sometimes afraid to get loud.
And Karen, you know what else?
Well, Jews aren't afraid to get loud.
No, that's true.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Lighting.
No, Joe Biden had the option 2 years before that to announce this. And Vic and I have talked about, we've never heard of this transgender day of visibility. We've never heard of it until now. And Joe said, well, it's just a coincidence, but it's not, because he could have done this 2 years ago and he never did it.
Have you seen the list of the number of LGBT days throughout the year and all of these agenda-driven days? I looked at it. I don't have it. I saw it on a tweet. A long list. And, and the point is, this is reverse. It's in reverse. It's forcing people to accept you instead of allowing people to think for themselves. It's the same with you've been misgendered. This isn't rocket science. This is all to say that this is all about control of our language, control of our thoughts. This is the thought police. You're not allowed to use a word that they don't like. And you can't allow that to continue without seeing horrendous danger to, well, we're seeing it.
Yeah. All right. We're running out of time, and I want to fit something else in here, but I do want to do one more thing. The Babylon Bee had a headline, I guess it was Monday or Tuesday. Biden grants day of visibility to segment of population with the most visibility in all of human history.
That's better than I ever could have said it, and that's exactly right.
Yep. And before we get to our last little piece of audio we want to play for you, he pooped on Easter, but he went to a Ramadan breakfast or something yesterday. I mean,
You think he'd poop on Ramadan? I don't
Of course
think so.
not. No, I mean, it's a war against Christianity. It's propping up, Islam. And I'm nothing against Islam. I'm just sick of us getting the short end of the stick. I'm sick of it.
Well, which group is more sympathetic to tyranny and totalitarianism? It ain't today's Christians. Maybe, 400 years ago, but not today.
Right. I'm sorry, not 50, 16, Ken.
I have it.
Okay, sorry. We always talk about Sebastian Maniscalco, right? You and I,
Yes,
Ken, right?
yes.
So he had a little incident that happened at a restaurant, and he described the incident on Instagram or one of those things. And so this is what happened to him.
You know what ain't right? Went to a restaurant last night, and I got the bill, and they charged me a COVID fee. And I asked the guy, I go, what's the COVID fee? He goes, yeah, well, we gotta wipe down the menus. Wipe down the menus. You're charging $3 to wipe down your own menus? Before COVID, what? You just brought out the menu with spaghetti sauce on it? Eliminate the COVID fee. And they charged me 3.5% credit card fee because I was using the credit card. It's a bad look. It's a real bad look as a business. Absorb the fee. It's called the cost of doing business. It ain't right.
So there you go. What do you think?
Yeah, when he talks too, you better listen.
Yeah, right?
You know.
He could easily
Forget
be a mafia
about it.
boss if he wanted to be. Hey, no COVID fee. But, I mean, it's true. Before COVID, they didn't charge us to wipe the spaghetti sauce off the menu.
No.
Notice, just like Reagan said, a tax never dies. A fee never dies. There are people still running around with rags on their faces 4.5 years after COVID.
Yeah. And
how effective was it? It was very effective.
And bird flu now is on the rise. That's going to be the you can't go out and vote thing is bird flu.
Yep.
Well, go Sebastian Maniscalco. Man.
Yep, love him.
Go, go, go.
All right, Karen. KarenKataline.com. You have yourself a wonderful week, my lady, and we'll see you next week.
You too, my dears.
All right. That's Karen
Bye,
Kataline. Has the world gone mad, really?
I think they're trying to make it go mad. We've got to push back.
How many people just throw the credit card? My wife, I'll tell you right now, if there was some kind of COVID fee for wiping down the menus and a 3% thing, she wouldn't even notice it. She'll give you the thing, give her the card, and sign it. She doesn't even look.
You know what pushback looks like? What Trump said the other night. He said November 5th is going to be Christians' Day of Visibility.
I love that. Love that. Porcelli's Deli today at 10:25. It's going to be a Porcelli pet update. Lots of updates going on. Nate Lucas joins us at 10:05. Up next, careening into the abyss. Oh, God. On 101.9 and 94.1. News Talk STL. #1 for live and local conservative talk.
Follow us on Rumble at News Talk STL. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
Prominent leaders are leaders. Breathe oxygen under the rocks it's hiding in.
The president has been very clear. He's been crystal clear on this.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Turbocharged. All right, so caring for a loved one. Let's talk about that for a little bit, because when someone you love needs long-term care, it's hard to think about finances at that moment, because all you're thinking about is, I want my loved one to get better, and I want them to get out of long-term care, and just for them so they feel better. We know they feel better, but we don't think about, how much does this cost? And what about all our savings? Can it handle all of this, right? Long-term care, quite expensive, and News Talk STL listeners like you have an expert right here on campus. It's Chris Cooper from Serenity Wealth Management. He will show you tax-efficient strategies to fund those long-term care needs. He is he's the triple threat, okay? CPA, he's a financial planner, and he's also a long-term care expert. So he's got this book, and I think the proper channels that you should follow here is to get Chris's book. You don't have to pay for it. You just go to serenityltc.com. You get it for free. Find out a little bit about what he does, and by the time you're done with the book, you'll be on the horn with Chris saying, okay, come on, let's get this ball rolling, okay? So get the book for free at SerenityLTC.com. That's SerenityLTC.com. Serenity Now with Chris Cooper.
Investment advisory services offered through Alphi LLC, SEC registered investment advisor. Insurance and education services offered through Serenity Wealth Management.
Serenity Now! This is 101.9 and 94.1.
I have to tell you, if this is how they're going to behave, I'm rethinking my position.
News Talk STL.
Hey, Tony Colombo here for Gutter Pros. When Christine and I bought our new house, we knew the gutters were an issue, and after meeting the Gutter Pros team, we knew that they were right for us. Gutter Pros is your all-in-one gutter service team that offers a variety of affordable solutions, and they even offer free estimates, so there's no cost to you to find out if they are right for your home, just like they were for ours. If you're having a problem with your gutters, contact the Gutter Pros now, because with Gutter Pros, water goes where they tell it to. Call them at 314-656-7195 or visit gutterpros.com.
In the fast-paced world of digital marketing, making connections is a challenge for any business. But what if we told you there's a place where connections aren't just made, they're grown? Meet 2060 Digital, your premier Google partner and top-tier digital agency. We don't just follow trends, we set them. At 2060 Digital, we're not just another agency, we're your strategic partner. We dive deep into your challenges and develop solutions that drive measurable outcomes. Ready to elevate your digital presence with campaigns that connect? Google 2060 Digital today.
The wait is over. Capriati's is now open. Taste extraordinary with our one-of-a-kind sandwiches, like our award-winning Bobby with hand-pulled butterball turkey and stuffing, our roast beef with hand-sliced American Wagyu beef from Snake River Farms, or our crowd-favorite classic cheesesteaks with your choice of grilled steak or chicken. No matter which you choose, you'll always get Capriati's high-quality ingredients. Capriati's. Eat extraordinary. Order now at capriatis.com or on the app.
On Manchester at McKnight in Rock Hill.
If you find yourself feeling out of place in the world, it's comforting to know conservative values haven't been abandoned everywhere.
Thanks for being my voice in all this.
This is News Talk STL.
There are people out there that feel the way that I feel and say what I say.
Welcome home. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
You're funny. But I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you, I make you laugh? What do you mean funny?
On News Talk STL.
9:27, good morning, Thursday morning, Evelyn Champagne King. Later on, we got some tickets coming up for the big concert. Sorry, something about that song reminds me of WBLS in New York. All right, Porcelli's Deli today is going to be a pet update, and you're like, oh, come on, Vic, how boring, a pet update. Nothing is boring in my house, nothing. And our pets are as neurotic as the humans are. And so...
You think maybe you could have made them that way? A little bit.
Yeah, you're probably right. Probably right. So we'll talk about that. Nate Lucas at 10:05. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to relax. It's time for Careening into the Abyss.
And now on the Vic Porcelli Show, the peaceful, relaxing sounds of careening into the abyss.
All right, Double Doy Thursday. Evelyn Champagne King, 9:20. Oh, sorry. So Karine,
Robespierre!
No, that's so silly. I can't be your name. Wait, what are you saying?
No.
It sounds right.
Karine Jean-Pierre.
Oh, so close. We're waiting for her to come up to the podium. When she does, there she is now. Look out, Karine. She careens before she even talks.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So, before we start, I'd just like to say, if you are a baseball player and you strike out every single time you're up at bat, don't come up to bat with that arrogance that you're Mighty Casey or something like that.
Right.
But that's what she does.
Don't flip the bat behind you.
Right. Don't be a show off, and but that's what she does.
Yeah.
She can't speak. She can't make an accurate reference, but she's got that condescending, holier-than-thou attitude when she talks, leans on the podium.
There you are.
Makes Peter Ducey feel like he's an idiot when she's the idiot, All right, let's do it. Ken, careen me.
How did the White House decide who would attend the Iftar dinner?
So what I will say is I want to be careful here.
Be clear.
This meeting, again, was decided after we've done outreach for some time now. we wanted to make sure that this was a private meeting and that participants had an opportunity to be, to be honest and to be able to share their thoughts and feelings about how, where they are, how they feel about the situation happening, obviously, in the Middle East. I don't have a process to lay out how the list came about, and so I'm don't have anything to lay out in that realm. But as you know, and as I stated a couple of times, we've done outreach for this past several weeks, several months, to the Muslim, to the Arab community, Palestinian community, and heard from them directly. And they spoke, we listened, and we hope that they feel like they had an opportunity to express themselves and had an opportunity in front of the president and the vice president to talk about an incredibly painful time.
If you're answering a question from a reporter, how it should be is if you completely cut off the question by the reporter and just played the answer, you should know exactly what the question was.
Yeah.
Just by listening to the answer. I heard the question, and I still don't know what she's talking about.
If I was a Muslim, I'd be pissed because she didn't. We listened to them, we heard them. Then that's the important thing for the American people is that we heard them.
You know what really pisses me off, Ken? This Israel-Hamas war has become a left-right thing.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it's just crazy how it's an ally of ours, right? I mean, okay, Israel's not obviously in NATO because they're not in the North Atlantic, but they're clearly someone who sticks up for us all the time.
Every chance they have.
They're getting battered all the time by being surrounded by enemies. This should be I always go back to World War II. Everybody in America was for our boys, right? Everybody wanted to throw things at pictures of Hitler and, Mussolini and stuff. And now this war has become a stupid left-right thing.
What happened on October 7th to that country equates to 30,000 people being murdered in this country.
So
okay,
that's like 9/11 times 10.
Yeah. So imagine that these people went into 30,000 families' home or people's homes, okay, and murdered them and raped them and chopped them up and did all the things that they did to them, cut off babies' heads, murdered grandparents in front of their families and vice versa. Okay, all that is, I know it's hard to hear, but they did it. They did it. And now then someone comes in and says, America, you need to stop fighting these people because you're just being really, really abusive to them.
And the whole ceasefire thing and the, stop the genocide thing, if October 7th didn't happen, then this wouldn't be happening.
Right.
They started it. And when you start something, guess what? Somebody's going to finish it. That's it. All right, you got another one, Ken?
Yep.
Come on, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Ken, Karine me.
The president supports the pause on pending, obviously, additional approvals of LNG export licenses to evaluate the economic and climate impacts on consumers and communities. He supports that pause.
Was that the liquefied?
Yeah.
Okay. So Biden is banning liquefied natural gas exports. So if you have two people both have their own business, right? Store number one sells stuff and makes a bunch of money. Store number two refuses to sell a certain product, and then they go out of business. We're number two. We're store number two.
Yeah.
Because why are we against making money? Are we against? He wants to talk about how he lowered the debt and all that, which he didn't, and this isn't going to help.
This is what they're talking about with petroleum as well. The Biden administration will say, oh, no, we're pumping more oil than we ever have. Well, that might even be true right now. But those leases are running out and they're not renewing anything. That's the key. People are not paying attention to what they're doing with policies and regulation.
Where are we drilling?
Well, that's my point, is that we don't know.
Oh, okay. Because it's not anymore.
No.
Is it in America, what you're saying?
We don't know what we're doing.
Got it.
We don't know what they're doing, Vic.
Got it.
Someone said, well, they're still pumping a lot of oil, maybe right now, but they've not renewed any leases. And these are the things with the LNG and all that they need to do.
So let me ask you and I'm not asking you for a definitive answer because, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but Donald Trump wins in November, and we go back to drill, baby, drill, and we open up the XL and finish the Keystone XL pipeline, how long do you think it'll take for us to get back to that energy independence?
It's going to take at least 2 or 3 years, Vic.
Okay, well, as long as it's within his thing, I'm fine.
I think
within his term.
We'll start to see it, but you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen. When he wins, the left is going to say, okay, where's the oil? Where's the money?
Right.
What? Okay.
He said he was going to do it.
Hey,
oh my
yesterday
God,
he was
right.
inaugurated, and today is the same as yesterday, pal. And that's what they're going to do, Vic.
Later on the show, we're going to talk about Trump calling certain segments of illegal aliens animals.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that because there was a pretty surprising thing that happened on CNN, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so what's going to keep us from voting this election? Can't be COVID, right?
No.
I wonder if it's bird flu.
How worried is the White House about bird flu?
So, look, this is something that we are certainly monitoring. We have been, CDC has been certainly working on top, working and focusing on this. We take health and safety of the American people seriously. It is very important to this president. Our top priority is to keep communities healthy, safe, and informed.
If the press briefing room were on fire, if missiles were coming through the windows and landing inside that briefing room, she would say, we're taking a look at it, and
we're looking at it.
President wants to be clear.
Yeah.
This is definitely Donald Trump's fault, you know?
Can I say also that they seem like they're leaning into giving CDC more power than that they had like last time?
Oh, God, no.
If they do it again, everybody, don't listen to these people this time. Don't. Just don't.
How do we get everybody to be exactly on board with that thought, Ken? How do we do it?
Well, last time I never wore a mask in any place, and if they told me to leave, I left.
Yeah.
You cannot. I went into fast food places, and they'd say, no, you don't leave, you stay here, and then the people get mad at me. But Vic, you've got to stop doing it.
I know.
You've got to stop.
But we have to get that message to people to tell them to stop.
I think part of it is doing it.
Okay. Let's do one more, Ken,
Okay.
because that's all I can take.
All right.
Karine me.
You guys started draining the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to try and help with the Putin price hike a few years ago. Said you were going to refill it, but now it doesn't seem like that's happening. Why?
Well, I believe the Department of Energy is responsible for that particular component, is refilling that. So I would refer you to the Department of Energy. I know there were certain components to that and how they were going to move forward in refilling it. They would have more specifics on that for you.
Why bother coming out?
Notice how Peter said the Putin price hike.
Right.
That's what they used to use.
Yeah.
He was just throwing it back at her.
Yeah, that's great. He's great. So they depleted the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, which they didn't have to do if they handled this whole Ukraine thing a little better.
Right.
Right. Trump filled it up. When Trump was president, the Strategic Petroleum Reserve was full. And we were buying oil for so low that we were selling it to other countries, making a bunch of money to lower the debt.
Well, we were making it. So that's the reason why we had it. And right now, Biden had to cancel that because it's so expensive right now, it wouldn't be any good for him to do it.
Somehow, Trump figured out a way for the oil companies to make money, and we pay little at the gas pump.
Right.
Nobody's done that but him.
Right.
Okay, I'm done. Hey, Evelyn Champagne King, everybody, on Double Doit Thursday. Caller number 7 gets a free Double Doit mug. That was a joke. Please don't call for your Double Doit mug. But that's an idea.
Good idea.
Double Doit.
Double Doit.
Double Doit is an idea.
Doink.
All right, Porcelli's Deli coming up at 10:25 today. And when we get back, I want to talk a little bit about Donald Trump and how he's taken out of context every day by the evil left. And somebody shoved one up Wolf Blitzer's ass yesterday. So I want to hear that next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Number 1 for live and local conservative talk and the best darn bumper music anywhere.
Follow us on Rumble at News Talk STL. You're listening to The Vic Porcelli Show.
Now, we as we evolve our institution to drive creative new partnerships, let me be clear. Certain principles of our international system are sacrosanct.
English, motherfucker! Do you speak it?
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL. Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
Hey, it's Thursday at 4:20. We'll speak with Sean Carney about the Florida ballot measure enshrining abortion. And at 5:20, Chris DeGaulle of the Herzog Foundation on school choice.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps. Weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL.
News Talk STL is proud to have Doug Voss as part of our lineup every week. Doug has been a staple on St. Louis radio for many years as one of the leading financial experts in the area. You can hear Doug and Safe Money Radio 3 times every weekend on News Talk STL. And in case you miss anything, you can check it all out at DougVossSafeMoneyRadio.com. What else do our listeners need to know, Doug?
Simply put, I focus on helping pre-retirees and retirees build, preserve, and protect retirement assets, and I've been helping my clients solve their insurance and financial needs for the past 33 years. I also strive to educate my clients on how to prepare for retirement, minimize the impact of market volatility on their assets, and deal with the challenges of increased longevity. Call me today at 844-676-SAFE. That's 844-676-7233.
Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DHL Securities, LLLP, member FINRA and SIPC.
Katie here, and I'd like to talk to you guys about Michael's Flooring Outlet. You could gain peace of mind with Michael's Flooring Outlet for your flooring and carpet installation needs. Their team of experts ensures that the job is done right the first time, providing you with attentive and a personalized service. Just like my parents, you can trust them to replace your old carpet with beautiful hardwood flooring. Visit one of their 3 locations in Dardenne Prairie, St. Peters, or Creve Coeur, or check them out at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com.
Connor Roofing, National Best of the Best Award winners for customer satisfaction in roofing, siding, gutters, storm damage restoration. Count on Connor. Over 30 years of great work with integrity. Visit ConnorRoofing.com for an estimate. That's Connor, CONNER, roofing.com.
Hi, I'm Officer Jacob Boomgarden with the Springfield, Missouri Police Department. We're currently looking for driven, qualified team players to become the next generation of community-minded servants in Springfield, Missouri. Our salaries and benefits are paid from day one. Plus, a career with the SPD gives you a truly unique opportunity to serve the community as a leader of it. To learn more, visit GoSPD.com. That's GoSPD.com. GoSPD.com. Brought to you by the Springfield, Missouri Police Department.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER roofing.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Hi, it's Dr. Ben Carson, and you're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show on News Talk STL.
Thank you, Dr. Carson. We appreciate that very much. Remember when we saw John Anderson? It's about a year ago.
Oh, I'll never forget that.
He's coming back at Riverport, warming up for El Monstero.
Wow.
John Anderson is warming up for El Monstero. I get it.
But,
El Monstero is very famous here in St. Louis and everything, but is that right?
But John Anderson, he's very much like that. He's not.
Yeah, you're right.
He's not egocentric. He's not a.
You're right.
He's not a narcissist. You know what? He would get up on stage and play no matter what, and his voice is amazing today as it was
it
back
is for
then.
an old guy.
Yeah.
Sorry, for a guy.
For a guy.
So he's going to warm up. So he's going to do what? 20 minutes, 25 minutes? That's like 2 songs.
Yeah.
That's like 2 John Anderson songs.
Right.
That night we saw him, I think it was only 10 songs the whole night.
Didn't care either, man.
That's Yes Music. That's where you go to see.
Yeah.
All right, say good morning to Dave. Good morning, Dave. How are you, my friend?
Good morning, Dave. I'm doing well. How are you?
Smart ass.
Why? Wait, did I say your name wrong? Why are you picking on me?
That's what you said. You said say good morning, Dave, and I did. Now you're mad at me.
Oh, got it. Okay. Say goodnight, Dick.
Good night, Dick.
Good night, Dick.
Okay.
But that's the first time I've ever been called that.
Well, keep talking. You may get called it again.
Good night, Dick. Oh, you say the sweetest things, Dick.
I'll bet you say that to all the boys.
Hi. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Only in the bathhouse, Vic. Only in the bathhouse.
Got it.
Anyway,
Yep.
hey, Pat, this is podcast material, sir. Hey, Vic, you know, you and Karen and Kenny were talking about left, right. Vic, anymore, everything is left, right. Everything is left, right. So what we need to do, I don't think God could come down, as mighty as God is. God cannot fix this because it's unrepairable. Why? I'll use me as an example.
Okay.
I don't want to hear anything on the other side, what they have to say, other than they're getting ready to jump off a bridge. That's it. That's all I want to hear. I don't want to hear anything.
Yep. I got it, man. And you know what? I can't believe that something as important as an ally to this country fogs their vision so they can't see that this is a stand up and stand for Israel thing, especially Jewish members of the Congress and the Senate.
And Dave, to your point about that, though, I have also heard Dan Bongino say this, and it's the truth. They think, or we think, that they have bad policies. They think that we're bad people. They think that we need to be removed.
Exactly. You know, if there was a way God could get us to sit down and listen to each other, but they just, look, there's always been closet people, whatever you want to say, orgies, stuff like this. It's been around forever. But the only difference with it is people kept it private. Since social media has come out, everybody thinks everybody wants to know what you're doing. Look, I don't care if you have diarrhea and you've been in the bathroom for 4 hours and you went through 10 rolls of toilet paper. That's something you should keep quiet.
Yep.
They don't post that anymore either. But it's social media is the decline of our stuff. And guys, you may not believe this, but I am not on any social media. I was on a social media with a family, and I got thrown off it because obviously they were too left hard, and I was conservative.
Oh yeah,
and they didn't like my views, but they actually did me a favor.
That's
so
right.
I don't talk to those people anymore.
You don't have to see all the cesspool. All right, Dave. Listen, have a great day, buddy. Go Cards. All right.
Guys, love the show. Thank you. Take care. Have a great day.
All right.
Hey, see you, Dave.
Bye.
Was there somebody else?
No.
Okay. So, Wolf Blitzer from CNN had a couple of guests on, and they did it again. And by the way, Monica Crowley, who's been on this show a few times, was on with Jesse Waters last night. And when we talked to her, I gave her my whole theory about their rapists, They,
right,
apostrophe re and Thei.
And she was actually excited to hear that.
And she said it.
Okay.
Last night.
So your message got out to a bigger audience.
She could have said, I was talking to Vic, and Vic said.
Yeah, she's going to say that.
Hey, you know what? Last time we had her on, she was like, oh, yeah, I like your Twitter feed. And I'm like, what? I said, you watch my Twitter feed? She says, yeah. I said, shut up. Like Monica Crowley is going to be on Twitter. I wonder what Vic has to say today.
Well, you said that, and she used it on Jesse Waters. No wonder why she's watching your Twitter feed. You might come out with some other stuff she wants to use.
She could have said, hey, Vic, how you doing? Something like that.
Right.
Something.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey. So last night, Jesse Waters laid all this out on how Donald Trump is taken out of context, even lied about for the things that he says. For instance, he never told anybody to drink or inject bleach. But this is a different topic. This is on animals.
We have a new hoax. The bloodbath hoax didn't work out too well for Democrats. It was debunked in 5 minutes. Today, the media is out with a freshie, the animal hoax. Trump calls migrants animals. We watched Trump's speech last night. We didn't see him call illegals animals. So where did it come from?
Trump once again used brutal, incendiary rhetoric to describe immigrants. Here's what he said yesterday. Listen.
It's a border bloodbath, and it's destroying our country.
They're country-changing, country-threatening, and they're country-wrecking. We're going to end up with the largest deportation in American history.
They're not humans. They're not humans. They're animals. I'll use the word animal because that's what they are. We don't want them coming into our country with contagious diseases, and they have it.
Hack job. They deceptively cut Trump's speech to make it look like Trump was calling all migrants animals, when he was only talking about the one who murdered Laken Riley. Watch.
I met with the grieving family of Laken Riley. You know Laken. She was incredible. Top of her class. Everything was the top. She was the top of everything. She was incredible. I met the parents. Incredible people. The 22-year-old nursing student in Georgia who was barbarically murdered by an illegal alien animal. The Democrats say, please don't call them animals. They're humans. I said, no, they're not humans. They're not humans. They're animals.
You bash a woman's head in until she dies, you're an animal. Period.
Period.
So, Wolf Blitzer, after playing that clip for two of his guests, said, shouldn't the president be condemned for talking like that? Scott Jennings was one of the guests on that segment, and Scott said no, because you played it out of context. You played an edited version of what he said. I saw the whole thing.
Oh, so they called him out. Okay.
Right on the air.
Okay.
Like Wolf was like, he's getting a little nauseous there, listening to the guy tell the truth, you know, and he's like, no. And we've done this. We've said the same thing, you know. MSNBC, MS-13, huh?
Keep focused.
Just clicked.
Keep focused.
Just clicked. MS-13 gang members are animals.
Yeah, they
Sorry.
are. They are. And like Jesse said there, if you're crushing a person's skull into the ground to murder them, you're an animal.
You're an animal.
You're a freaking animal, and you need to be taken off the streets forever.
Yep. So good for Scott Jennings, because if you watch that clip, you watch Wolf Blitzer, and you know that Wolf Blitzer was not expecting that answer from any guest on our show.
Right.
Don't you disagree with me? Trump is always bad no matter what we say. That's what we've been saying about Karine Jean-Pierre, about everybody in Congress who talks about not a scintilla of evidence against Joe Biden. They just say whatever they want because of their elitist egocentrism. They assume the whole country thinks like they do and don't like Donald Trump.
And I think the worst part of this is, Vic, is that we have this supposed mainstream legacy Pfizer media that covers everything, right?
Yep.
But they plant this stuff. They're the ones who did the editing. They're the ones who did this. They knew that this edit was going to be taken out of context. They did it on purpose. That's what they're going to do here. Joe Biden is planning to have a chairman of AI in every department in his administration right now.
Mm-hmm.
Every single department's going to have an AI misinformation chief.
So are they honest with themselves when they look at somebody like Karine Jean-Pierre? Do they really think she's doing a great job? Do they really think that she's up there telling the truth or saying anything for that matter, or not directing them to another agency?
There's no possible way that they think that she is good, but she's a useful tool. And that's what we need to focus on. These people don't care. Everybody has their position in that whole administration, all the way out to even the what they call the pundits.
Yeah.
Okay. They're all useful tools for this administration, whoever's behind it.
Now's the time for a company, corporation, like let's say against Disney, right? You got Disney who picked diversity and DEI over success, right?
Right.
So this is the chance for Universal Studios to be the unwoke amusement park, theme park.
Right.
Right? Boeing, I hate to say this because they're a local company and they hire a lot of people in this region. Now's the time for another Lockheed Martin or somebody to say, hey, we don't do DEI hiring, and planes don't fall apart when they're flying that we make.
Right.
I don't want that to happen, because I just want Boeing to get their act together and lose the DEI and make some safe planes. That's all I'm asking.
Well, what's moving all this wokeism forward in government right now, or not in government, but in businesses right now? Remember back in the days of the Rainbow Push Coalition?
Jesse Jack,
a long
the
time ago,
Reverend Jackson.
He would say, "Hey, I'd like to have a meeting with your crew, with your CEO and everybody." And they have a big old conference meeting and say, "Okay, here's what we do, here's what we are, and you can participate or not.
Yeah.
And if you don't participate, well, we're going to have to do something.
Yeah.
We're going to have to say stuff. Yeah. Just like you always talk about how, hey, if you don't want your place to burn down, then
right,
you better
be ashamed.
You'll be ashamed. So ESG comes into the picture, and wokeism, diversity, equity, and inclusion. That whole thing that's ESG in business, right?
Yep.
The same exact thing. They come in, they say, we need you to be diverse, equity. We need to have your commercials do this, that, and the other. And then they become that woke company, and they get points for it.
Yeah.
The businesses, Vic, just need to stop.
Yep.
They need to say, no, you know what? We're not going to do it.
Think of your stockholders,
Yeah.
Disney stockholders. We had Dr. Tobler on 2 years ago, and I said, I guess it's time to dump your Disney stock, huh? And he laughed. You know, he thought it was a joke. I hope they did. I hope all the Disney stockholders dumped their stock because it has just fallen into the abyss. All right, can we check the chat box real quick, Kenny Williams? Kind of lit today. Let's start with
light it up.
Let's light it up. Let's start with our Rumble chat box. Lunette says good morning. Ed's in there. Got beat today, huh? Got Lunette's beat you there. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. DJT 2024. No fair election.
No peace.
No fair election.
No peace.
He also says, hey, Karen, how you doing? Good morning from Barnhart Bunker. Charles Kodake from Jeffco. You know what really burns me? A flame about that high. LOL, old joke. Righty right, where you been, man? Just tuned in and thought for a second you had a new guest host on your show with that lovely picture of Karine. Ken found a picture of Karine making the worst face. Worse than her regular face.
Yeah.
Okay, over to Facebook we go. Good Thursday morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy for another day. Good morning, Vic Heads from Jane Pushkar. Good morning, Vic Heads. Good morning, all Patriot Vic Heads. Happy Double Doit Thursday. Ken, this show has just completely changed the entire vernacular of the St. Louis area.
I love it.
Speaking of, Dave says, whoosh, my all-American Ultra MAGA Vic Head family. Today's April 4th. 291 days till the end of the era. Happy,
hey, whoosh, Dave.
Yeah. Happy Karen Nate Deli Day. You in the truck today? Oh, they're talking to each other there. Why don't you guys cut it out? Happy opening day. Yeah, opening day of the baseball season. Yay. Morning, Vic and Ken and Vic Heads. If a team will not stand for the national anthem, they get no tax money from stadiums or tuition.
Bingo.
That's not the government stepping in. That's... I don't know what that is.
I don't think it's government stepping in that situation. It's just, the American people saying, you don't need to be using our money if you're going to be that way.
Right. Bottom line, the Democrats are communists, but a lot of them are too stupid to understand that they are what they're saying and what they're doing to our country. Hey, Vic, do you have a Cardinal hoodie? Vic, hey, what? Vic, don't you have a Cardinal hoodie? That's how I should have read that. Ken, love the blue Cardinal jersey. My favorite Cardinal jersey. They need to bring back every home game, not just on Saturdays. Oh, Vic, don't you have a Cardinal hoodie? Whatever. No, we're good.
I know.
Sorry. GMVH.
Vic's trying to be a producer right now.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't do that. If her lips are moving, she's lying. The press should call her out on this. That's from Barbara. Good morning from Peggy Trump 2024. Since this Dave can't get through the phone lines, you have to stop referring to it as right and left. Should be right and wrong. Huh.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right and wrong.
Right and wrong. Okay. That's hour number one. Nate starts us off on hour number two right after we right in a little bit. On 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Yeah, son of a bitch.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Tony Colombo here, reminding you to visit my friends at Bluff City Outdoors in Alton before your next trip into the great outdoors. For decades, Bluff City Outdoors has covered all the needs for area fishermen, and they'll always have all the best bait, tackle, and gear for your next trip on the water. And now they cover all your bow hunting needs, including their state-of-the-art indoor archery range and techno hunt system, open every day for you to come shoot, or you can join a league. Follow Bluff City Outdoors on Facebook and learn more at bluffcityoutdoors.com.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness 101. Wellness 101 is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common sense, science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on NewstalkSTL. For more information, visit us at inhstl.com. That's inhstl.com.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at newstalkstl.com.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu will speak today for the first time since the Israeli airstrike that killed 7 aid workers in Gaza. Israel's military says it was a tragic mistake amid the fog of war. Muslim Americans remain upset with President Biden over his response to the Israel-Hamas war.
The president's plans for an iftar dinner this week were scaled back when invited Muslim American leaders refused to attend. A meeting was scheduled instead to hear from the Arab community. One of the attendees was Dr. Thayer Ahmad, a Palestinian-American ER doctor. He told CNN that he walked out of the meeting with President Biden and Vice President Harris after telling them what he witnessed while treating hospital patients in Gaza. Greg Clugston, the White House.
New Wall Street Journal poll shows former President Trump leading Mr. Biden from 2 to 8 percentage points among voters in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Arizona, as well as in Georgia, Nevada, and North Carolina. The only maritime shipping terminal operating in the Port of Baltimore is preparing to process an influx of ships as crews continue clearing the mangled wreckage of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Maryland Governor Wes Moore.
We have opened 2 temporary channels that can and are focusing on supporting commercial traffic.
It's those temporary channels that will allow commercial vessels to get around the bridge debris that's blocking the port's main channel. An early spring nor'easter hammering the northeast with heavy snow, rain, and high winds. Some northern reaches expected to get up to 2 feet of snow. More than 680,000 homes and businesses were without power this morning from West Virginia to Maine. Police say a falling tree in a New York City suburb killed a woman in Westchester County late yesterday afternoon. Watching Wall Street, the Dow up 166 points, NASDAQ ahead 138. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Oh, honey, it's our favorite leaf filter trusted pro, Matt. Matt, come in, come in.
Hi, Mrs. Sparks. You wanted me to stop by? Is everything okay with your leaf filter gutter protection system?
Okay, of course, silly. We wanted you to stop by for dinner as our way of thanking you.
Yes, to thank you for that free gutter inspection, the free estimate, and what was the other thing?
That lifetime guarantee.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Sparks, those are just Leaf Filter's policies. Everyone who calls Leaf Filter gets a trusted pro to come out for a free gutter inspection and estimate. And every Leaf Filter installation comes with a lifetime guarantee.
So it's not just us?
No, sir. We don't want anyone to worry about clogged gutters ever again.
You mean everyone gets this level of service?
Everyone. They just need to visit leaffilter.com/gold to schedule their free inspection.
Okay, but you must be starving. You work so hard.
Ready to love your gutter protection as much as we do? Visit leaffilter.com/gold and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Rodney and Jen Wallner and the entire Wallner home selling team at Berkshire Hathaway. Call them today at 314-810-SOLD. 314-810-SOLD. From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
It's a chilly home opener for the Redbirds and a breezy one, too. An afternoon high of about 50 degrees, some gusts up to about 30 miles per hour. Clouds increase this morning, dreary skies at times, and a slight chance of a shower this afternoon. Now, most of that misses Busch Stadium to the east, but I can't rule out a quick stray shower over the ballpark. Clearing tonight down to 36 in St. Louis with a freeze warning just west of the metro, but a warming trend begins tomorrow. Partly cloudy Friday, up to 58. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers.
Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Hi. Good morning. How are you? Number one for live and local conservative talk. We are 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Porcelli's Deli today will be a Porcelli pet update because some anniversaries are coming up, and I wanted to commemorate those and just let you know what all the freaks are doing at my house.
Yeah.
And every one of them's a freak in their own way. I swear to God. And right now, a little baseball music. It's opening day. Can we get some baseball music? My God, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I think we can do that.
It's baseball. Here we go. Welcome to opening day of the baseball season at home. Cardinals. Does it never fail, Ken, that it's cold on opening day?
Yeah, we've had good days, but it's St. Louis. You know, that's what happens in this town.
Okay, you're right. You're right. But I do want to say that every time I've had to go out and broadcast for opening day,
yeah,
it was freezing or raining.
That's because you did it.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, because you don't like it.
That's right. What I like, I don't get. What I don't like, I do get. All right, Nate Lucas, NateLucas.com. Opening day, Nate.
Oh.
Is he not there?
I guess not. I guess he tried Opal.
Okay.
All right, well, I'll have to get him.
Oh, okay. Should I do a little soft shoe in the meantime?
Yeah.
So listen, if you you have something to say, you hear something and there's something you want to say, this is the radio station for you, okay? Because we have got great live and local shows starting at 5:30 in the morning. You got Dan Bongino, of course, at 11 o'clock. And then you've got, Columbo and Katie. And then you got Tim and Chris, which is a great show. You got Larry Connors, USA, ready on the right. Lock and load, that backwards, I think. Lock and load, ready on the right. And then the Rob Carter Show from 8 till 10 o'clock. But guess what? Got something to say? Call in, speak your mind, and we got you covered from 5:30 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. I think that's pretty darn cool. All right, Nate, good morning. It's opening day, buddy.
Good morning. It is opening day. Can you believe that? We got baseball in St. Louis.
And it's cold on opening day. Huh, that never happens.
Is this the windiest spring you guys can recall? I mean, this is ridiculous.
There was one day that the wind was so strong I could not open the car door. I opened the door to get out, and I'm still pushing it. Oh, my God. Dorothy!
Guys, it's that climate crisis.
It's climate change, Nate.
Oh, is that
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
John Kerry will berate us all.
Yeah.
Let's get a little sports in, and then we'll talk about some other stuff, because one of the sports thing I'm sure you're mad about. But the first thing is Caitlin Clark won the Naismith Award for Player of the Year. I'm proud of her and happy.
So 12.3 million people watched that game. I think people need to think about that number for a second.
Yeah.
If I would have told you a year ago that 12.3 million people would tune into a women's basketball game, I think you would have looked at me a little funny. So she has revolutionized the game in a way that I think is really cool. Now, unfortunately, that game is being overshadowed by the thugs from LSU who were too hip, I guess, to come out and stand for the national anthem. And Angel Reese, who is the dominating player for LSU, decided to whine like a little brat after the game because she lost, and then remind everyone how hard it's been to make $1.8 million as a college athlete through her NIL fund because we sexualized her. It took me all of about 20 seconds to scroll through her Instagram that she publicly has when she's standing on her balcony in a Gucci bikini.
Ew.
What? And she's on the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit. I'm sorry, ma'am. What exactly are you trying to do by posting those pictures?
Right.
Yeah.
Are you trying to be sexualized?
Right.
So
You're
Angel
sexualizing
Reese
yourself.
has somehow stuck her big head in front of what should be talked about, which is Caitlin Clark, who lost with dignity a year ago in the championship game to LSU and still had the competency to at least win with dignity as well. So kudos to Caitlin Clark and good riddance to Angel Reese.
Okay, now, when you speak, Nate, I take notes, and now we're stuck on this for a little bit.
Okay.
We predicted on this show that would be the most watched women's college basketball game in history, and we were right, because she's not just changing women's sports, she's changing sports. Nate, I can name everyone on the starting five of that Hawkeye team. I could, I can't name one man in the NCAA men's tournament, right? And does she really need what is the advantage? You're a sports guy. You played sports. Kenny, you played sports. What's the advantage as an athlete to wear fake eyelashes during a game?
Yeah, that's
Right?
a new one for me.
Well,
I don't quite get that.
Well, one thing that when I was watching, that's one thing I noticed is like the hair amass that they have to run down the court with, and their eyes. I mean, to me, that would be a hindrance for the
I'm glad
game.
you brought up the hair because every girl in women's college basketball has long hair.
Yeah.
And they tie it in a ponytail instead of just having short hair and not have to worry about it.
Right.
Well, you want to look good, man.
I get you.
You got to let it rock.
I got to do it every day here. Look good.
Hey, Vic and Nate, you know what that thing reminds me of you were just talking about is when the good-looking girl, when she wears like real skimpy clothing and goes and works out and then stares at every man who's looking at her and says, hey, what are you looking at?
Same thing when people.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
When a girl wears a low-cut dress, a low-cut shirt, and then she's always like, hey, are you looking down my shirt?
Right.
Hey, she's always pushing her shirt back up.
My eyes are up here. Vic.
Right.
My eyes are up here. I'm like, well, yeah, but your breasts are hanging out.
Exactly.
Right.
Your eyes are up there, but your boobs are down here.
And we're guys.
And Caitlin Clark, I just want to say, scoring machine. And as much as I don't like her, the coach of LSU, Kim Hookie, she said, Mulkey. She said, it's not just Caitlin. Well, Caitlin Clark beats you by making everybody around her better, right? She had 12 assists the other night besides having her 41 points. She sees everything like Jason Williams used to do, So I just wanted to say that, too, that she's not just a scoring machine, but she's a team player and makes her teammates better.
Yep.
When I watch Caitlin Clark, it truly reminds me of how much Stephen Curry from the NBA has changed the game. Because I see a lot of footwork and technique that she is sort of taken from watching Steph play, and and she also shoots what we now call logo three. That's a new term.
Yep.
Yeah,
but that's because she shoots
because of her.
She shoots these. Yeah, I mean, but that's what kind of Steph Curry did, and I mean, Steph's probably my favorite player to watch in the NBA, and I think he's revolutionized an entire generation of how they go about their practice habits to emulate that in game situations.
And
I just see a lot of him.
Yeah. Can I say that, too? I'm addicted to assists and passing. I think it's more exciting than the dunk in a million different ways. And there are videos that I have watched, 20-minute videos of Steph Curry passing and assists. And those are the ones that I really like. And same thing with Caitlin.
He's insane. He'll dribble through traffic, dribble, and then find a wide open guy because the rest of the entire defense has a headache from trying to watch him dribble through them.
And I think you're right about Steph Curry, Nate, because I was not interested in professional basketball, and then I started seeing him play, and I'm like, I'm going to watch a game. Yep. I'm going to watch him play.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, the sad part about all this is that she's going to the WNBA, which is just a shame because, I don't know. There's got to be some underlying aspect to all this that goes beyond what we see. There's probably tremendous pressure on her, but, man, can you imagine her going back to another year of college basketball?
That'd be awesome.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Too bad.
What? The extra year, Nate, is because of COVID, right? Eligibility because they didn't play enough.
Yeah, it might be. I can't keep track with all these extra years.
The transfer portals and all that.
My parents looked at me a little silly, like, the rest of your siblings completed college in 4 years. What's the extra lap for? I said, well, I'm not done.
Yeah. Well, I am proud to say,
get to play till they're like 30.
Once my daughter graduates college, which is going to happen in the next month or two, I'll be the only person in my family without a college degree. So I'm proud of that.
Oh, well, you can go to phoenixonline.com.
No, thank you. No.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay.
Or you know what? You went to the Rush Institute of
yes, I did.
What did he used to call it?
School of Hard Knocks, maybe?
No. Rush said it was
the Limbaugh. Oh man,
Limbaugh University of Free Speech or something like that. I don't know.
Yes, exactly. Vic.
Half my brain tied behind my back just to make it fair. Okay.
What a genius.
Let's talk about the Trans Visibility Day. Happy Trans Visibility Day.
Wow. Yeah.
It's all yours. Floor is yours.
Well, I love how Trump came out and said that he's going to declare November 5th as Christian Visibility Day. And this is such an attack on anyone who thinks clearly. It's so obvious. There are now 140-plus days on the calendar that they have designated towards the alphabet community. And it just goes to show you how big of a clown world this is. I mean, I had Sarah Perry on yesterday on my show from the Heritage Institute after I watched that disgraceful Republican governor in Wisconsin, Tony Evers, sign a bill to veto a transgender bill that would have protected biological women playing women's sports. Instead, you've got – I read stories every day. Yesterday I read one in the Blaze.com. Women are getting hurt in these games that they're playing against men with beards. And it's so crazy to me that we have to it's just as crazy as thinking that the Democrats would plant Trans Visibility Day on Easter, the highest holy day of the year, as it is that biological men with beards play women's sports. I mean, at some point, can we just have a timeout and look and evaluate how ridiculous this has gotten? And how long does it need to go on for before people just say, you know what, I'm done. You know what, I'm not paying my taxes this year if my daughter has to go up and play Chris Harris with a beard in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
That's not happening.
So
at some point, we are on a breaking point. This is not a winning issue for Democrats. 70% of people in this country do not want biological males playing female sports. I don't know what the rest of the 30% are smoking, but 70%. And you have a Republican governor vetoing a bill that the state Republican legislature brought you to protect women's sports? Screw you, Tony Evers, you bastard.
Anything else?
I do want to say something, but I want to make sure you're done. I'm not interrupting the great Nate Lucas. No way. Here's what we can do, Nate. So Mike Tyson's training now, right? He's going to fight Jake Paul. After that fight, I think he should, to make a point, because apparently he and Sean Hannity are good buddies. I don't know if you know that. Mike Tyson was on Hannity the other night, and, Hannity was trying to make Mike
Tough
and
guy.
I work out
Tough
together.
guy, yeah.
We're buddies.
Yeah.
And he was asking him questions. When you interview Mike Tyson, you have to give him questions on his level, if you know what I'm saying, And he wasn't.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's what has to happen. Mike Tyson fights Jake Paul, win or lose. I hope he wins. And then he puts on a dress and he says, "Oh, I want to be a what do they call it? If you're a man dressed like a woman, you're a transsexual, transgender." I don't either.
Which one is it? Which one is it, Nate?
I think it's male, transgender. Anyway,
could be a female. It's transgender female.
But he needs to put on a dress.
He wants to be a Karen.
He needs to put on a dress and get in the ring and fight a woman. and what's going to happen is he's going to hit her and he's going to kill her.
Well, that's going to be unfortunate.
It's going to be unfortunate. But, at that point, do we say, hey, wait a minute now. Maybe we should rethink this.
I actually think the visibility should be on all of the people who identify as he, him, they, ze, those, dolphins, that go shoot up schools and supermarkets and that have caused a lot of harm in our culture.
Yeah.
And then I think we should send them all to an insane asylum so they can get the proper treatment they need. This is not a matter of not identifying with your biological sex. This is a health crisis that our country has created. And when I see somebody like Caitlyn Jenner put out on Twitter, that this is terrible and it needs to stop. She was captain of the ship.
Yep.
And now she's betraying her own ship. It's just so crazy. And I feel so sad for, I have two young nieces and I've got young cousins that are in school, and I hear about, what they deal with at their schools here in St. Louis. And, the fact that there are satanic clubs at Ladue High School, that is wrong. That should be eradicated. The fact that they have litter boxes in classrooms, and people think, "Oh, Nate, you're crazy. They don't have litter boxes." You're naive. You're stupid. You don't understand that. Yes, they do. These teachers, they pledge allegiance to the pride flag. They don't have any American flags anymore in public schools.
Right.
It's all about the trans alphabet community. And I mean, these kids, their brains are just being completely warped. And they're so naive, they don't know. And so you have like predators that are just attacking children. It's pedophilia 101. And I don't understand why half of America doesn't understand that.
Hey, Nate, when Biden first put out that proclamation on Sunday, I posted that, and then I posted also a meme of every one of the transgender people that were killing people, all of the different schools and churches.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, and I said this should be the Transgender Day of Visibility. This is the only visibility that it should be right here.
These kids are so screwed up. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, it's very sad. We're watching. And we're luring them. We're dangling a carrot in front of their face to just jump off the cliff into this nut job world. And at some point, I'll repeatedly ask the question: where are the real men in this country to stand up and betray this nonsense and get us back on track? Because clearly, this DEI movement, which has elevated a lot of just weak, worthless, white, pathetic, coffee mongering women into leadership positions that have no balls to stand up and say, we're not doing this.
All right. So the Transgender Visibility Day happens on Easter, right? So they pooped on Christianity and Easter, and then yesterday he goes to a Ramadan event. I mean, right? So I hate when liberals are like, oh, you're so sensitive about saying Merry Christmas and all this stuff, and nobody's against your religion. How else do you look at that? That he does the transgender thing on Easter, and then the next day is at some Ramadan breakfast or fasting thing. I don't know what it is. So you want to be Ramadan? Go ahead, go be Ramadan. But we have to be able to be Easter too.
This is the epitome of the people that I truly have distaste for, because that we all know someone who preaches religion and they're the first one to stand up on their virtue signaling and tell everyone how to have morals and values, and then they go cheat on their wife. It's like that's precisely what Biden is. Unfortunately, I can't even give Biden credit for any of this because he's such a mush pea brain that I don't even think he understands where he's at when he's at it.
Yeah, it's not him.
This guy is just dragged by his handlers into one event to the next, and then when we have to watch some disgraceful anti-American State of the Union address where he screams at half of America and preaches more taxpayer money to Israel and to Ukraine without giving a damn about America. This guy is a total traitor. He's completely compromised, and he needs to go. And if people are going to stand there and act as if they care and then say, well, I can't vote for Donald Trump because he's been indicted 91 times. Let me tell you something. Get the fog out of your brain.
Hey, that was close.
Oh, that was a close one.
Get the fog.
So we're already late, Nate, but I want to do one more thing with you, because this one just cracked me up. This is Jesse Waters' observation last night that he did on primetime.
Today, Biden overslept and was late to an 11 o'clock speech. He didn't show up until an hour later. And if you look closely, you can see the CPAP creases on his face.
Yeah.
He wears a machine around his noggin to keep him breathing at night. He has sleep apnea. And if he has a creasy face at noon, he just got out of bed. He kept Bernie Sanders waiting an hour. That's either a power move by Biden or that's just sleepy. The president didn't fly home from a West Coast campaign stop last night late.
Right.
Yesterday, the president did nothing. He had a phone call. That's it.
And he got up late, an hour late, because of the CPAP machine. But I'm like, don't they have this thing called Inspire now for sleep apnea, that you don't have to wear anything? Somehow it works within your body. You put it on yourself and you push a button, and then you don't have. He can't afford that. Why does he? I can't do it because I'm fat. I had the option, but I'm too fat. Why isn't he doing that instead of wearing the goofy mask?
I actually think maybe Jill was slapping him around a little bit.
That could be.
Yeah.
Stop this war.
But I mean, I look at this guy. Does he not look? He looks like a plastic doll at this point. I mean, they have caked him up so much with so much, cut and nip and talk type of surgeries. The guy is just, I'm sorry. He looks like a walking dead man.
Yep.
And to think that he is the president of the United States, this is Obama 3.0, and we are dealing with it. And I don't know what else to say than please vote for Donald Trump in November.
Please do. NateLucas.com. Nate, thank you so much, man. We'll talk next week.
Was I good today, or was I a little too loud?
No, you were great. I'm kidding.
Fun.
You were absolutely
fun.
great. Yeah. That's a conversation we can have after you like it. Yeah. Okay. All right, Nate. Thank you, buddy.
See you, Nate.
He's funny. Was I good today?
It was fun.
He knows he's good.
It was
Come
fun.
on.
It was
What's
fun.
he doing? All right, when we get back, Porcelli Pet Update from top to bottom on 101.9, 94.1, News Talk STL, #1 for live and local conservative talk.
Stream the Vic Porcelli Show at News Talk STL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
I have no idea. I want to be clear.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
You couldn't write a comedy movie with everything that happens in this White House, and people say, come on, be realistic. That'd never happen.
Yeah, do something more real.
Right?
Come on.
It's crazy. So it looks like right now is a great time to sell your house. Home sale prices are up big time. So if you're in the situation of being empty nesters, the kids are gone, and you look around the house and say, honey, do we really need all this room? Why don't we sell the home with the Wallner Home Selling Team, Rodney and Jen Wallner, and then, go after something a little smaller, right? I mean, that's the situation most of us end up in. So the Wallner Home Selling Team is the only way to go because of all the advantages, right? First of all, they sell 15 times more homes per year than your typical realtor. I could stop right there. Stop. That's enough. Nope. There's more. They have so many approved home buyers ready to go, ready to pull the trigger, that they might even get your house sold before it hits the market, which is a time travel thing. I don't know how that works, but it could happen, and they'll definitely get you an offer, okay? Great husband and wife team, family perspective, good conservatives, and if you decide you want to stay in your home, that's no problem. You let them know, no obligation, no long-term contracts, you're done. Missouri or Illinois, call 314-810-SOLD for the Wallner Home Selling Team, 314-810-SOLD.
Hey, it's Tony Colombo with a great offer from the cleaning pros at Zero Res. So many of us are suffering from allergies right now. It's time to get your home clean and healthy, and Zero Res is here to help. Book a cleaning in April and mention the Colombo special, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $129, plus you can take $50 off your air duct cleaning. Get the jump on spring cleaning now. Just mention the Colombo special when you call 314-474-2020 or book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
Stand and Fight with Nick Schroer.
Hey everyone, this is Nick Schroer from Stand and Fight every Sunday 8 to 10 p.m. If you need tree removal, storm damage, repairs to trees, tree trimming, pruning, if your bushes are out of control, call River City Tree Service. Free quotes right now, 314-270-8071, 314-270-8071. Professional tree services performed by ISA certified arborists. Request your free quote at rivercitytreeservice.com.
You're personally invited to hear from a man who, like you, deeply values individual freedom and liberty. He likes law and order. Larry Connors, with his trademark wit and wisdom, is ready to dive headfirst into today's topics and dish out stories hotter than a St. Louis summer. Ever hear of a guy standing on top of the Gateway Arch? Yep, that was Larry. Come see Larry live this Thursday, April 4th at 7 p.m. Get the details at stlouisrepublicans.com.
Paid for by St. Louis City Republican PAC. Curtis Farber, Treasurer.
Next Gen with Danny Define.
I think we can all agree 2024 is only going to get crazier leading up to the election. But hey, it makes for some great radio.
Next Gen with Danny Define. Debuts Sunday night at 10.
So hop on the roller coaster with me every Sunday on News Talk STL.
Welcome to Porcelli's Deli.
Yes, very good. I'll have a Bloody Mary and a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich, please.
Go over here.
Ketchup. Where's the ketchup at? I bet the Chinese food here is terrible.
With Vic Porcelli.
He's a very strange young man.
He's an idiot.
Porcelli's Deli is moved to 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Come on in. We're open. Have a seat. Vic will tell you a story.
Can I warm that coffee up for you, hon?
I have to get my coffee.
Can I warm that up for you, hon? I don't know why. I was so jealous the other day because I was in line or I was somewhere, and the lady behind the counter called some other guy hon instead of me.
And not you.
I was so jealous. But I let it go, Ken. I let it go.
Well, that's good.
But I love when the old ladies call you hon. I don't know what it is.
Hey, babe.
No, I don't like babe.
You don't like babe?
I like hon.
Okay.
Because, okay, so this is quick. My wife makes this thing called Killer Spuds. It's got shredded hash browns, mayonnaise, cheese, cornflakes on top.
Ooh.
So good.
Yeah.
So she loves it. Mia's got her ladle, and she's plopping it into her dish. I'm like, you look like the lunch lady saying, here you go, hon. Because she was just plopping it in. Like, no daintiness.
Yeah.
No petite flour.
Yeah, she wanted to eat it.
You know what? I get that. Okay. Porcelli Pet Update. A lot of people are asking me about the pets, especially the two big ones, Phantom and Sally, so we'll get there. Well, let's start with the patriarch of the entire Porcelli pet family. That's Skimbleshanks, the railway cat. Skimbleshanks, why is that funny?
Just it sounds funny. Just Skimbleshanks, the railway cat.
Well,
it sounds like a movie or something.
A play.
A play, yeah.
Cats.
Yeah.
Skimbleshanks, the railway cat, the cat of the railway trains. We had him because we also had another cat named Gus. That was his nickname, but his real name was Asparagus, the theater cat,
okay.
which is also from Cats. And we had him first, so we're like, well, we got to name Skimbleshanks.
Right. Well, you have to.
You have to. And he's been knighted by the Queen.
It's a rule, actually.
While the Queen was alive, she knighted Skimbleshanks. His title is Sir Shanks of Skimble. He's got to be 15 years old or more. We got him in 2009. He was already 6 months old. And he still jumps up on the counter and completely accosts my wife, by the way, when she's trying to eat something. She'll stand in front of him, slap her in the face. Hey, where's my little piece of steak?
Oh, no, I get that. I used to have a really big cat, a black and white, named Norbert, who's our buddy.
You're laughing at Skimbleshanks.
I know, but Norbert,
is what?
St. Norbert. And I'd come home and I'd walk past the refrigerator and he'd be on top of that thing. He'd smack me in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm here, pal.
Where's my food? And the funny thing about Skimbleshanks, his entire life, he's never made a louder sound than meow. Like he doesn't meow.
Yeah.
Meow. So he's doing good. The king is doing good. We all bow to him. Even the humans bow to Skimbleshanks when he walks in the room. The next in line is Pippin. That one's easy, right? To play Pippin.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He is the family pet bitch.
Oh, okay.
All he does all day. I don't want to go shopping. I'm hungry. All day and all night. That's all he does is bitch. But he gets his way. And Jessica takes care of these animals like they're her children.
Well, yeah.
So if he gets matted up, if his fur gets matted up, she brushes him, and he likes it until she hits his bad spot, and then he bites her on the hand. I'd be like, you know what? You're biting the hand that grooms you.
That's right.
And I hate when he's very furry, and he gets sick a lot, the hairball thing.
Yeah.
But when he's got to get sick, right in his stomach, and then he pukes. Then we have the sisters, Nessa Rose and Elphaba. If you've ever seen Wicked, those are the two sisters in the play. These two cats are actually sisters from the same litter. Elphaba is black, and she's got green eyes. Totally Elphaba. So if it's her sister, the other one's got to be Nessa, right?
And how many cats do you have?
4.
Okay.
So Elphaba is the reclusive one. She will come by. She'll come by and say hi. But she's not in your face like the rest of them are. Nessa Rose, I was told by my wife, Nessa gets whatever she wants, whenever she wants it. So there you go.
Okay.
She got really skinny. I think she ate one of there's plants all over the house.
Yeah.
Half of them come from the fish tanks, or for the fish tanks at least. And she must have eaten one, and then she didn't eat and she was skinny, and she was just bad, and we thought she was going to die. That's how skinny she got. And, we brought her to this place, which I want to talk about, too. Oh, you know what? I'll do that now. We brought her to this place, left her there. After we picked her up, all they did was draw blood. They didn't, give her any, what do you call it when you put the thing in your arm? And
intravenous.
No intravenous, liquids or anything like that.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So we were really mad at that. So we brought Sally to the same vet for her first visit, established care with a new vet.
Well, yeah.
So we walk in, and already I'm like, there's 3 wooden chairs. They looked like they were from 1958. And I was like, I don't like that. And then the lady looks like she was older than that. And she says, okay, well, what we do is we take the dog back, and then we'll bring him back to you and let you know. And you know what, Ken? I know my wife well enough. I said, this is not good. She's going to walk out of here, guarantee it. My wife goes, I've never done that. In 50 years of bringing a dog to a vet, I've never left my dog alone. I want to go in there, meet the doctor, talk to him, right?
Yeah, that's what mine does as well.
So, what?
We sit in the room with the dog.
So Jessica says, I'm sorry, we're leaving. So we left. You know my wife.
Yeah.
So now we have no vet. We're looking for a great vet who will let us go back. That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't want to name the place because I don't want to, badmouth any name.
Yeah.
But they screwed us on Nessa and they screwed us on Sally, so you're out. So Nessa's doing good, feeling a lot better. Wet food has come into the mix now for the cats. These cats are so spoiled. I mean, do I have to go any further? Jessica said Nessa gets whatever she wants.
Right.
Whenever she wants.
Right.
So I'm a slave to an orange tabby. Who, by the way, anytime you say Nessa's name, she'll answer. And if you say, it's not like she's just responding to anything. I'll say Elphaba, Skimbleshanks, Pippin, Nessa. Like she knows it's her name, So cats are doing good. All right, on to the dogs. Chino, our Chihuahua, thankfully, has left the cartel, living a lawful life now.
Okay.
Here in the United States.
Good.
He's a citizen. He's a citizen of the United States.
That's good, too.
He is... Okay, so if you were to say Phantom was tough and ruthless, you'd say that Chino was rough and toothless. Because something happened. His teeth are falling out, and he does not like Sally at all.
Mm.
Chino does not like Sally. Every time Sally comes up just to say, hi, I'm the new... He growls at her, and, he shows his
lack
gum.
of teeth.
Shows his gums. So he's doing fine. He's spoiled. That dog has never been more than 1 foot from my wife. He just to have a drink of water and go pee and come back, and he climbs up his stairs because he has stairs to get on the couch because he's too fat. Stairs.
And whose fault is that?
Not mine. Don't be looking at me.
See, we're having the issue with Nico right now because he's decided that stairs are not a thing anymore.
Oh,
so,
you mean to go upstairs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Downstairs he can hop down. Well, I have to carry him up now,
Yeah.
and so we took him off the treats and all the extra little food.
Oh, on a diet.
And after about 2 weeks, he's climbing up those stairs again. I don't know what so.
You know what we do? We give the dogs now, especially for Phantom, little hemp chondroitin treats for their joints. And
I was just asking Caddy about those.
Yeah.
I think we need to get him some knee stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it can't hurt.
Yeah.
And he will feel good, man. Now, the stairs I'm talking about are just 3 stairs to get on the couch.
Yeah,
That's
we've got
all.
those for the bed.
Right. I just want to make sure of that.
He won't do that anymore.
Right. All right. So that's Chino. He's out of the cartel. Thank goodness. He's on the good side now. Phantom. A lot of people are asking me about Phantom. Phantom's hanging in there, man.
Yeah.
And it was a year ago because it was on Easter Sunday last year when he took a little fall. Jessica took a little fall on top of him, and we thought he was going to die.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was on the floor, and he would cry unless you touched him. Or, I had a back scratcher, so I didn't have to lean over all the time. I would touch him and stuff. We thought he was going to die, and we actually, because we're saying, he's crying and whining, and Jessica was like, what are we doing? This dog is suffering. Why are we letting this dog suffer?
Yeah.
So we made an appointment with a company who was going to come, put him down, and then take him away. 12 hours. It was going to happen in 12 hours. 1 o'clock in the morning, we're on the couch. And all of a sudden, we hear the back door bells ring. And we turned around, and there he is, standing there. Like nothing happened. Like nothing was wrong.
Wow.
1 o'clock in the morning, everything is fine. I'm like, really? I was so happy, Ken. I was so happy.
Yeah.
I put his thing on him, and I took him out for a walk at 1 o'clock in the morning just to see him walk, you know. And he's doing great. I mean, he's not doing great. He is old.
Yeah.
And he's got to walk up the back stairs diagonally. It's easier for him than walking straight up.
Oh, yeah.
Because it breaks my heart when he misses and he starts tumbling down the back steps. And so he's hanging in there. I mean, he's going to be 16 this year for a dog that's 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Right? And then we have Sally Bones, who is celebrating her first birthday on the 18th. She's going to be one, and she's still a puppy. One of the breeds that is in her can still grow up to 2 years.
Wow.
So she's already, like I told you, I don't have to bend down to pet her head. It's just right there. And she's wild, and she, needs some discipline. She'll get it. But she's doing great. I love her to death. And so happy birthday to Sally. Phantom, happy anniversary of almost dying and not dying. Thank you for not dying. And that's it. That's the update. Was that okay? Was that
good?
Good stuff. Update on the Porcelli Pets. That's all the time we have for Porcelli's Deli on 101.9 and 94.1. News Talk STL, number one for live and local conservative talk. Whenever I tell Sally to lay down, I end up singing this song.
How do you do it?
I say, lay down, Sally. Rest here in my arms.
There is nothing that is wrong in wanting you to stay here with me.
What a great song, Ken.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know you've got somewhere to go. Won't you make yourself at home and stay with me? And don't you ever leave. Lay down, Sally.
That's great, right?
Oh, yeah.
Love that dog to death, man. Absolutely love her to death. All right, when we get back, we're going to talk a little bit about this bridge thing in Baltimore. A famous journalist who we have had on this show did a tweet. We're going to let you know what she said. That's all I'm going to say. That's next on 101.9 and 94.1. News Talk STL, number one for live and local conservative talk.
Have you ever been to a Starbucks, like inside, like if you go inside and there's like a big long line and you'll be waiting and they try to take your order before you're even to the front? Like you'll be in the back, they're like, what do you want? You're like, oh, I would like to wait till I get right in front of you. Yeah, did you see everybody looked at me when you said that? I didn't care for that. So how about we do it like a regular, normal business, and you let me do it right in front of you. Starbucks is like waving cars down on the street. Just be like, we're just trying to get your order started in case you ever come here one day.
The Vic Porcelli Show. Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL. The news and talk that matters to St. Louis.
Let's talk about who is prepared to lead our country.
Imagine the future nightmare if Trump's back in office.
101.9 and 94.1.
Once we get all of this finished, I'm going to go after one person.
News Talk STL.
The wait is over. Capriati's is now open. Taste extraordinary with our one-of-a-kind sandwiches, like our award-winning Bobby with hand-pulled butterball turkey and stuffing, our roast beef with hand-sliced American Wagyu beef from Snake River Farms, or our crowd-favorite classic cheesesteaks with your choice of grilled steak or chicken. No matter which you choose, you'll always get Capriati's high-quality ingredients. Capriati's. Eat extraordinary. Order now at capriatis.com or on the app.
On Manchester at McKnight in Rock Hill.
When you go shopping, you may not get the bargain you want, but at least you know and can compare prices. It should be that way with healthcare, but too often it's not. Need an operation on your knee? Want to know what it's going to cost? Good luck. For 3 years, hospitals have been required to provide patients with list prices and have negotiated charges for some 300 services. Only 36%, just over a third, are fully compliant. In Missouri, prices differ greatly depending on a patient's insurance. The cost of a pelvic CT scan, for example, can be 20 times more expensive in one hospital than another. Price transparency allows patients to compare providers, forces hospitals to compete on price, and helps insurers negotiate lower rates. State law should require all healthcare providers to publish prices in a user-friendly form. What we don't know is costing us. The price of healthcare shouldn't be a secret. Check out our 2024 blueprint, Moving Missouri Forward at ShowMeInstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
Sundays at 5 on News Talk STL.
All your hard-earned tax dollars and mine are going to fund illegal aliens who come across the border penniless, jobless, skillless, and they're given a cell phone, an identity, and a cash stipend every month.
Mark McCloskey on fire.
That beats your Social Security income if you should have the good nature to work your ass off your whole life and retire.
Mark McCloskey on fire. Sundays at 5 on News Talk STL.
Brought to you in part by Modern Weapons Systems in Fenton.
Fox News commentary.
Venezuelan illegals were caught squatting in the basement of a home in the Bronx, but if you think they'll face the music, don't hold your breath. I'm Tommy Lahren. More next.
Are you over 30 and putting off life insurance? It's time to get a quick quote from Ethos. A better, easier way to get term life insurance. All online with no medical exam. Answer a few health questions and you could be approved for up to $2 million. Isn't it worth 10 minutes to help protect your family's financial security? Ethos. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Next story combines at least 3 elements of the Democrat plot to destroy America: illegal immigration, squatters' rights, and felon coddling bail reform policies. Venezuelan illegals were caught squatting in the basement of a home in the Bronx after an executed search warrant uncovered loaded guns, extended magazines, ammo, ketamine, cocaine, and a 7-year-old child. One of the illegals had also been previously arrested for attempted murder. These thugs were charged with criminal possession of a weapon, criminal possession of a controlled substance, and acting in a manner injurious to a child. But here's the most twisted part. All but 2 of them were released without bail. You know, it's bad enough when American thugs and felons are coddled, but now Democrat lawmakers are actively shielding criminal illegal aliens from consequences. Even so, what are the chances New Yorkers keep voting Democrat? I'm Tommy Lahren, and you can watch my show Tommy Lahren is Fearless at Outkick.com.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Never rat on your friends and always keep your mouth shut.
On News Talk STL.
All right, I'm calling an audible, Ken.
Oh, yeah.
You know how, like, sorry, I shouldn't bring up things that I can't remember. The quarterback, Peyton.
Yeah. Peyton Manning. Yeah.
Peyton Manning used to go, Omaha. Remember he used to yell Omaha?
Yeah.
I'm yelling Omaha. I'm doing a little change here.
He also said Papa John's once in a while.
Did he?
Yeah.
God, it's so funny. Do you remember when he was a guest host on Saturday Night Live, and he did this? It was like a fake commercial for something, and he's teaching the kids how to play football, but he's being real mean to them, and he throws.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
God, it was so funny. It had to be a Nerf ball, right? They can't throw a real football at the kids' head.
No.
All right. Emergency chat box check. Here we go. In reverse chronological order. On Sunday, the Archbishop of Washington called Biden a cafeteria Catholic because he picks and chooses elements of the Catholic faith to follow.
Absolutely.
But mostly just ragging on Catholic faith.
Well,
and Christianity in general.
But regarding abortion, he's all up for it.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Where's anything he's done lately that agrees with the Catholic Church?
Would Jesus say, "Oh yeah, you can have some abortion, sure, no problem"?
So I agree. Thank you, Fran. Thanks for being with us, by the way, Fran. We were talking about transgenders, and I said transvestite by mistake, and David says it used to be called a transvestite when a man dressed like a woman, but who knows anymore? But I think that's important to point out that Dylan
Mulvaney.
I'm so sorry, guys. Dylan Mulvaney, I think, is just a transvestite.
That's all he is.
I don't think he's a transgender anything.
No, he's nuts. He's loony as it can be.
He still has no boobs.
No, and he's really freaky.
That's got nothing to do with what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because transvestites can be freaky, and transgenders certainly are freaky. What I'm saying is, he's not a transgender. He's just a transvestite. A man dressed like a woman. That's it.
Well, I think you're all transvestites unless you have it chopped off.
Right. Then you're transgender.
Or if you grow,
Now, the most important comment in the chat box today comes from our friend David Sylvester. When Nate, you and I were trying to think of what Rush used to say all the time, and he used to say, the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies. That's what he used to say. On the EIB network. Half my brain tied behind my back just to make it fair. Michael Burton has joined us today, Ken.
Oh.
Hi, Michael. Michael says, I'm glad to see the voters of St. Louis and St. Charles voted to reject extremism. The MAGA movement had another huge loss last night.
You know, he's using the same narrative that it's those talking points because Michael can't think for himself. So what he decides to do is uses the narratives that they hand him, which is the extremism narrative. Michael, no one's extremism except for the left.
And here's another, I agree, Ken, completely. I would like to add to your great point that also this also is part of what I say about them going too far, right? The 2020 election was the most secure election in history.
The most.
The first time I heard that phrase, I said, oh my God, they cheated.
Yeah.
I got the exact opposite message of what they were trying to portray. Why say it was the most secure in history? There was not one election from George Washington till 2020 that was the most secure. This was more secure than all of those.
All of them.
When only 10 people voted.
Right.
I'm sure that was the most secure in history,
Probably,
right?
yeah.
On paper, no mistakes, no cheating.
Well, here's extremism. When parents are called domestic terrorists for going to a school board meeting and just raising their opinions.
Yep.
Extremism, Vic, is an open border, wanting to close that open border.
Extremism is Transgender Day on Easter.
Yeah.
I mean, just go down the line.
Yeah.
It's liberals who are extreme, not conservatives. But Michael says, voted to reject extremism. You just be happy with your little win there in the school board elections, Michael, because I still think something fishy was going on.
Yeah.
And I think there needs to be, to use your words, Ken, a forensic audit.
There should be.
Of what's going on.
Not just a regular audit where they take one and say, oh, see, the same number came up.
We had people who are in our chat box. What are the odds that people in our chat box had problems voting?
Multiple people.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just the people who talked to us in our chat box had voting problems. Their ballot didn't count or their ballot wasn't counted. One wasn't even registered.
And we have to ask Jay Ashcroft about that.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Tomorrow we will be doing that at 9:41, by the way.
So let me go back to Michael here. He's so happy. The MAGA movement had another huge loss last night.
You know, he thinks that's an insult. Okay, the MAGA movement, I take pride that I'm an American Magadonian.
Yes, you
are.
Okay,
so why don't you just, understand that and understand that extremism exists on the left only, Michael, and I'll prove it to you if you ever want to get on the air with us and talk about it.
The MAGA movement has another huge loss last night because of some school board elections.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I mean, anybody who's a Republican now is a MAGA person that they say is bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there are some MAGA candidates in the school board election from the other day. But are they extreme? Is Jane Pushkar an extremist?
No. None of us are extremists. I asked my wife that question. I said, you've known me for 30 years. Am I an extremist? She goes, extremist about what? I go, exactly.
Yeah. The Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies. That's what it was. Most secure election equals more semantical warfare from the left. And then Matthew answers Michael Burton with extremism. I disagree with your viewpoint. The word has lost its meaning, pal.
What, extremism?
Yep.
Oh, totally.
Right.
It's like they used racism into the ground. Racism is a very serious offense.
Yeah.
Okay? But they've destroyed the meaning of the word.
Mm-hmm.
They did, the left. They've destroyed it.
So racism, bad.
Yeah.
But not illegal. Just saying. If somebody is older, right? Let's say in their 80s, when everybody was racist, right? If they're old now and they're still racist in their head, their thoughts are racist, it's not illegal.
Like a president?
No. Like a guy that the president would hate.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A mid-Missouri, Senator Moon, for example, here in Missouri. I'm not saying, that was terrible to say. I'm not saying that Senator Moon is racist. So let me take him out of this completely. Some guy, anywhere in the world, anywhere in the country.
I get it.
Might be racist, okay? He might sit in his living room and have racist thoughts. That's not illegal.
No.
I'm not saying you should do it.
No.
So, Michael Burton, don't twist my words here, because he's going to say, oh, see, you're racist.
Well, I don't care what he says.
So, my point is, racism is bad. Not everybody is racist. A majority of people, I believe, are not racist. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
And if somebody has racist thoughts in their head, there's nothing you can do about that. Nothing.
No, there's not. My whole point is that racism is a serious issue, but it's not blown out of, it's been blown so much out of proportion and used so often by the left, accusing people who are not racist, by the way, like Donald Trump, so many times that people say, wait a minute, right now you've got the black community, they're saying, wait a minute, for 4 to 8 years you've been telling us that this man is racist, but what have you ever shown us that proves that he's a racist?
Yep.
Nothing. And now they're saying, well, I like what he did, so I'm going to vote for him now.
Yep. You're absolutely right, Ken. And racism, you're racist. You MAGA extremists are racist. There's a guy, I think his name is David Webb, black guy, very, very conservative, Fox commentator. And he played some audio, I think, from his radio show where there was a, Karen on the phone.
Yeah.
And she's talking.
A guilt-ridden
exactly, Ken.
white liberal.
Exactly. Yeah. Talking to him. And he's saying, conservative views like you and I would say. And then she says, yeah, well, you see, that's why you're just using your white privilege. I swear to God. And so it stopped him in his tracks.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm black. And she just shut up. I don't even think it was just like a caller into the show. Hi, long-time listener, first-time caller. I don't think it was that.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a guest that he had on the show that had an opposing view of him, and they were debating on his show. And she goes, yeah, well, you're just using your white privilege. He says, oh, okay.
I reject people like Michael and Hakeem Jeffries who use that word.
Yep.
Every sentence, if you look him up, if you could right now, go to YouTube and look him up, Hakeem Jeffries, and a statement that he makes every day at random.
Right.
But it includes those extreme MAGA Republicans.
And can we say it every single day? The left is great at pushing and keeping narratives, and we are just not.
And we have to reject them. My goal right now is from now on the left, when they say something like that, I push back as hard as they pushed at me.
And something you said earlier, if somebody calls you MAGA, say thank you.
Yeah.
I am MAGA. I want to
make America great again.
That's right. So do that. And can I tell you the best comment of the day today is in the Rumble chat box. It's Lunette's who says, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button on this live chat. Yeah. Thank you, Lunette's. We appreciate that very, very much. Wow. Great lit chat box today.
Very much.
Rumble and Facebook.
We appreciate it. We do. Yeah.
Totally. All right. Thanks for having the record player on at night to listen to us this morning.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
Dan Bongino is next in between 11 and 2. And then more great live and local with Columbo and Katie coming up at 2 o'clock. Kenny and I'll see you tomorrow at 9 on 101.9 94.1 News Talk STL.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL 101.9. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
Man, what a great party you're throwing here. This wasp nest is great.
Yeah, man, we got about 70 wasps in here.
Too bad we can't fit any more wasps in here. It looks like they're having fun outside, stinging all the kids. Oh, man, who just pulled up?
Oh, no, it's the pest control company again with those green wheels. They seem to kill every one of my parties.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. Give us a call today at 636-486-7888. Learn more about our special $67 offer. You can visit us online at allsolutionspestcontrol.com.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
So we finally got the parts for the time machine.
Classic Kicks Country is streaming now. Hear all your new country favorites from the 90s. Streaming as it happened in the 90s. Classic Kicks. Download the Classic Kicks app from the App Store. Online at ClassicKicks.com. Or enable the Classic Kicks skill on Alexa. 90s new country streaming now.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNVS Bowling Green.
This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Rescuers continue to search for dozens of people a day after Taiwan's strongest earthquake in a quarter century damaged buildings and caused multiple rock slides, killing 10 people.
Of the approximately 690 people said to have been trapped or out of contact, most were guests and workers at a hotel. Authorities say they're all safe. The quake, which has injured more than 1,000, struck during rush hour Wednesday and was centered off the coast of rural mountainous Hualien County. In the eastern coastal capital of Hualien, workers use an excavator to stabilize the base of a damaged building with construction materials as some officers take samples of its exterior. I'm Charles Dilladesma.
Also at townhall.com, the number of Americans applying for jobless benefits rose to their highest level in 2 months last week. But layoffs remain at historically low levels as the labor market continues to impress despite elevated interest rates. The Labor Department reporting that filings for unemployment claims for the week ending March 30th climbed by 9,000 to 221,000 from the previous week's 212,000. This could be a big disappointment. Cloud coverage could interfere with Monday's total solar eclipse.
Some Americans in the path of totality may have a hard time seeing the moon as it passes in front of the sun. The National Weather Service says current forecasts show cloud cover from Texas through southern Arkansas, along with parts of the Ohio Valley. The regions with the best chances for clear skies are northern New England, upstate New York, southern Missouri, and central Indiana. This will be the first solar eclipse to be visible in the U.S. since 2017. Tasha Stevens reporting.
The Dow hit 185 points, the NASDAQ adding 165. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, and evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word faith to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word faith to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
It's a chilly home opener for the Redbirds and a breezy one, too. An afternoon high of about 50 degrees, some gusts up to about 30 miles per hour. Clouds increase this morning, dreary skies at times, and a slight chance of a shower this afternoon. Now, most of that misses Busch Stadium to the east, but I can't rule out a quick stray shower over the ballpark. Clearing tonight down to 36 in St. Louis with a freeze warning just west of the metro, but a warming trend begins tomorrow. Partly cloudy Friday, up to 58. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Matt Shane.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Stifel, serving investors for over 130 years. Contact your Stifel financial advisor at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com.
Do you have a house that you've been thinking about selling, but maybe it needs a lot of work and you want to sell it in as-is condition? 314-417-1000. My name's Chad with Clayman Real Estate, where we've had a family business for over 90 years, and we buy houses direct from the seller with no middleman involved. 314-417-1000. We recently just bought a house from a nice person who had been in her house for over 30 years. Quite frankly, she wasn't excited about letting a bunch of people in the house, and she wasn't as proud of the house as she once was, and she was ready to sell. We came in and we made her an as-is offer with no repairs and no agency involved. It was just a one-time walkthrough. If you're in that situation and you have a house that you're thinking about selling in as-is condition and want a simple solution, reach out. 314-417-1000. 314-417-1000. Reach out to Clayman Real Estate today, and we will provide you with an as-is, simple solution to your real estate issue.
Are you fed up with paying too much for lightning-fast doctor visits with too little information? Well, I was too, and decided to create an alternative. Hi, it's Dr. Randy Tobler here, asking you to take a look at no copay, no deductible visits with me and my team. That's Body of Health Direct Primary Care. Let's face it, the system's broken. No respect for your money or your time. So learn about a better way for your primary care. Schedule your discovery call today at bodyofhealth.com. That's bodyofhealth.com, shepherding you to medical freedom.
When I wake up in the morning light, I pull on my jeans and I feel...
Hi, this is Ron Clutho. Join me for Groovy Grooves every Saturday to hear songs like this and memories that will take you back to a groovier place and time. Be sure to check out the playlist at NewstalkSTL.com for more Groovy Grooves.
And now for something completely different.
Groovy Grooves with Ron Clutho, Saturday nights at 10 on Newstalk STL.
This is what's happening.
I know it may not look like it, but I've been around a while.
President Biden is not interested in bringing people together, and he's also not interested in creating real solutions.
He came to give a campaign speech, and it was that.
101.9 and 94.1. News Talk STL. News, analysis, opinion. News Talk STL.
From the NYPD to the Secret Service to behind the microphone, taking the fight to the radical left and the putrid swamp. You're listening to the Dan Bongino Show. Here he is, Dan Bongino.
However much you revile the hack-goon media, I promise you folks, it isn't enough. I'll go into this in more detail tomorrow. I got a couple things I want to bang out the beginning of the show with, but kind of quick-fire fashion. But the guy who's Don Henke, who backed the bond that Donald Trump was forced to post for the police state war on his property. I mean, we live in essentially a semi-communist country right now. No, we don't. Yes, we do. Yes, Lib, shut up, sit down. See that corner? You see that? You take your ass, go put it and shut up. I got no time for you right now. I'm a little salty today in a good kind of way because I'm ready to kind of take on some liberal BS today and media goonery, and that always puts me in a mood. But I've got no time for you right now. So again, plant it in the seat, shut up, put the dunce cap on. However much you revile these people, I promise you, it's not enough. We live in this semi-communist state right now where I want you to think this through. You've got this guy, Donald Trump, who's put through legal hell by this slob attorney general in New York, who's an absolute life loser, who's never done anything in her life other than complain about people being male, stale, and pale. That's this Letitia James, an absolute life loser. Again, a disgusting, gross human being who doesn't have a single notable accomplishment outside of being a good communist apparatchik. She puts Donald Trump on trial for a fraud charge where nobody can claim any fraud happened, including the business partners. She tries to prove there are victims, despite the fact that even the alleged victims want to do business with the supposed victimizer again, which I found bizarre. They then try to steal his property. When the theft of the property, it's theft. The government steals stuff. The government in New York stole the property. That's what they try to do. Liberal, they're trying to steal the property. It's the law. Shut up. Shut up, Beggs. Shut up. Stop being stupid. This isn't stupid hour on the radio. You have to go listen to some of your lefty friends for that. Man, you're salty today. Yes, I am. That's correct. So they try to steal his property. No one wants to post a bond because they're afraid of being targeted by the same communist slob, Letitia James. So finally he gets a guy to post the bond, this guy Don Hankey. No, there's nothing illegal about him posting the bond at all. And now NBC News and other media people, of course, are going after him because that's just what these communist slobs do. Because they're slobs, they're dogs, they're mutts. Mutts, garbage, bums. And by the way, if you're a lefty here and you don't like it, I don't care at all, not even a little bit. You can take your lips and plant them on my ass. I don't care. I'm not interested in you, your feedback. It's an attack on democracy. I'm not interested. You guys have zero credibility. I don't like you. I can't stand you. You can send me all the nasty Facebook messages you like. I get them all the time. They go in one ear and in one eyeball and right out the other one. Not interested at all. To my Republican and conservative friends in these liberal cities, get out as soon as you can. I can't say this enough. Why you were staying there under some illusion that this may not come for you at some point is crazy. I read that right before I came on the air doing my podcast about they're attacking this guy who posted the bond for Trump. Keep in mind, the guy's getting paid. It's a business transaction. The guy has been brutally honest about it. He said, listen, I'm a Trump supporter, but that's not why I'm doing this. It's a business deal. I mean, I don't know if the left-wing media, do they understand how bonds work? You post a percentage of the bond, and there's a profit motive for the guy to post it. Jim's like shaking his head like, Dan, why are you asking dumb questions? Of course. Right. No, that's a good point, Jim. Jim said it right, folks. Jim just said, no, they never have to worry about posting bonds in fake fraud cases because this never happens to them. So why would you expect them to know how it works? That's a really good point. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just like really salty today about all this because it's so transparently obvious right now to anyone paying attention that everything happening in this country that the liberal left is hoisting onto our backs is happening on purpose. None of this is by accident. I've got a whole bunch of examples of this today. Why? Because I am a happy warrior. You're like, what? It certainly didn't sound like it. We've been listening to you for 7 minutes. You're ready to tear these people up. No, I am, but I am a happy warrior. I mean it. I'm long on this country. I say it all the time. We've been through far worse than this idiot in the White House. This moron. This guy's too dumb to destroy America, but he's trying. He is. Like, showers with his kids, sniffing kids, feeling women up. He's gross. The guy's disgusting. He's a filthy old loser. That's what he is. He's a loser, Joe Biden. He's a scrub. Remember that song by I Don't Want No Scrubs? It's Jesse. We're talking about Joe Biden. Probably not. But was that DLC or something? Just scrub. Guy's a loser. The United States has been through far worse than this guy. And I feel really optimistic about November. I don't like to say that because I don't want any red waves on this show. Because every time you talk about a red wave, you jinx it and people don't show up. I'd rather talk about a blue wave. But I am optimistic. But everything this guy's doing, he is doing intentionally. If you keep up with the news, and I am a vigorous consumer of news, whether on X or Truth or wherever, all day. That's all I do is scroll all day. That's my job. This is what I do. It's not a sob story. I enjoy it. I'd be doing it if I didn't work here. It was just today alone. I'm reading about how now Biden, who emptied our strategic oil reserve, he basically destroyed our strategic oil reserve. And from what I had read a while ago, it's kept in a specific type of cavern that if it dips too low, you can destroy the walls of the cavern. So Biden basically destroyed our national gas tank in the event of an emergency. Yeah, they're not going to fill it back up now. But Dan, wouldn't that put us at risk? Ladies and gentlemen, that's the point. This guy hates you. He wants you at risk. Then before I come on, the Republican Party pushed for a while, decades ago, for Medicare Advantage, this component of Medicare where there's some degree of free market choice in it. So if the government's going to have a role in medicine, which, should be basically a safety net only, in my opinion, but whatever, we've injected ourselves into the market, the best we can do is employ some form of capitalism and free market choice. Long story short, Medicare Advantage is a program that tens of millions of seniors have benefited from. They enjoy the choice and the flexibility with it. Biden hates it. He wants to destroy it. No. Look it up. We'll talk about it in detail tomorrow. Yes, look it up. He is now slowly draining the program and benefits from your monthly checks for Medicare Advantage, from your monthly allotments. Why? Because Joe Biden hates choice. Joe Biden wants the government to tell you where to get health care. He doesn't want you picking anything, so he wants to destroy it. Why? Because Joe Biden is a rotting, metastasizing cancer who sniffs kids and feels up women. That's why. He is going to destroy the host if he's elected to another 4 years. That's exactly who he is. If that's too much for you and you don't want to hear it, I don't know what to tell you. If you're under some delusional, bizarre belief that Joe Biden is doing any of this because he cares about the country, you're crazy. Joe Biden has fully succumbed to the nihilist, destructive left who sees Joe Biden's presidency as the last opportunity to destroy this country because no Democrat would be as dumb as this guy to do all of the suicidal stuff he's doing. No one. I want you to remember something. Joe Biden is the president Barack Obama wanted to be, but was too politically smart to become. Don't ever forget that. Dan, Obama was awful. You're damn right he was. And his people are out there destroying the country right now in the Biden White House. But I challenge you to name one metric where the worst president in the United States prior to Joe Biden, who was Barack Obama, tell me one metric Biden's not worse. One. National debt, the border, Yeah, exactly. Tell me anything. CRT stuff, right? Wrong. U.S. bankruptcy, CBDCs, wrong. Surely Obama was worse than Biden on something. No. For as awful as Obama was, Biden is 1,000 times worse. Because, as I told you, Joe Biden is the president Barack Obama always wanted to be, but was too politically smart to become. Joe Biden's a moron. He's a kid showering, kid smelling, sniffing, woman feeling loser. That's what he is. He's a bribe-taking loser. The reason he's produced the stock he has is because he's a loser. And he's always been a loser. And the left understands his insecurities. And they take advantage of him. And they pat him on the back as he bleeds this country dry like the vampire he is. Folks, we got an election coming up, and I have to tell you, I'm more than a little bit concerned about what they're going to do. There's an article I saw in the New York Times, and whenever you see something by Maggie Haberman, one of the skills I urge you to incorporate into your political toolbox is the ability to read left-wing media critically, and I know most of you have it. When you read a story in the New York Times from Maggie Haberman, you have to assume it's coming from one of two places, either the intelligence community or the left-wing attack machine. It's not coming from credible, actual sources. So Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan was, I think it was the Axios guy. I don't have much to say about him. Maggie Haberman, I know, is an absolute goon. She's got a story in the New York Times. I'm going to read to you the headline. I'm going to give it a second. If you listen to the podcast, you had a chance to cheat already, but if you haven't, which is good, I'm going to read the headline. I'm going to give you a second to read this headline critically. Read it in light of what I just said about how Joe Bribin will do anything to win this, and I mean anything. Corrupt, criminal, they will do anything to win this election because they have nothing else up. He is getting smoked in every poll. Polls that have never been friendly to Donald Trump. Here's the headline. Maggie Haberman, New York Times. Trump spoke recently with Saudi leader It's not clear what the former president discussed with bin Salman, but news of their call came amid Biden administration's negotiations with the Saudis over the Middle East peace plan. Let's let that brew a minute. Why am I reading you that headline? Oh, yeah, some of you are getting it right now. So New York Times prepping another Logan Act scandal? Folks, if you remember back in 2015, 2016, how the collusion hoax started in the media, it started with a bunch of reports from left-wing outlets about Trump's leaders with the UAE and elsewhere. Go back and look it up. Why is Maggie Haberman writing this in the New York Times? The answer is because someone in the intelligence community or some left-wing activist is getting ready to prep some other major fake scandal they're going to make up about Donald Trump. And my guess, it's going to have something to do with behind-the-scenes collusion or a Logan Act violation with the Saudis. You can flag it right now at 12/19, April 4th. Flag it right now. Write it in your flag it book right now. I'll guarantee you I'm right. The FBI or someone else is probably spying on Donald Trump right now. They're leaking it to Maggie Haberman so they can do what they did with collusion. So when the media asks later on, the conservative media, hey, were they spying on Donald Trump again? They go, oh, look, he was meeting with the Saudis. Look, it was in the New York Times. You think this is by accident? Maggie Haberman, noted deep state cooperator. Moscow Maggie, you think this is an accident in the New York Times? Once you learn to pick this stuff apart, you can never unlearn it. You'll see it for what it is the second it pops in the media. This is absolutely an effort to spy on this guy again if they're not doing it right now. They will do anything to win this election because this guy's disgusting, and he doesn't have a single shred of morality or decency. He is the single worst president we have ever seen in U.S. history, and there's not even a close second. More on this coming up next. We'll be right back.
Bongino.
Are you feeling the impact of the recent changes in the timeshare industry? My friends at Lone Star Transfer are the only company I trust to help you. For over a decade, they've successfully helped over 20,000 owners get out. With an A+ rating at the BBB and thousands of 5-star reviews, customer service is their priority. For a free consultation and a guaranteed solution, call 844-284-4864. That's 844-284-4864 or LoneStarTransfer.com.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Dan Bongino.
Like any good conservative, we have our principles and our values.
If you find yourself feeling out of place in the world,
I don't even know how conservatives can even take their head out of the ground long enough to complain about anything.
You're trying to call us conservatives Nazis.
I think they ought to be ashamed.
it's comforting to know conservative values haven't been abandoned everywhere.
All we want is freedom and liberties and less government.
I'm not a Democrat or Republican, or I'm an American.
Welcome home.
Because everyone gets a voice.
This is News Talk STL.
News and information.
Welcome home.
Hey News Talk STL family, this is Marissa Jones with Jones Air and Water. I am so excited to announce our newest addition to our services, nutrition and wellness coaching. If you are looking to lose weight, increase energy, get rid of those headaches, balance your hormones, or simply find a healthy balance in your lifestyle, give me a call today. Mention News Talk STL and receive 10% off any nutritional service. Call us at 636-899-1040. That's 636-899-1040.
Larry Connors, USA.
Hunter Biden and his artwork.
Excuse me, Hunter. Apparently you're afraid of my words. What a coward.
The art gallerist apparently claimed that one of Hunter's financial backers purchased most of his paintings for $875,000. What's this? Oh, it's a scribble, but really it's a man walking into his future and seeing his past at the same time.
You're the epitome of white privilege.
They were laundering money, and he had all of his friends coming forward to help him out.
Larry Connors, weeknights at 6 on News Talk STL.
In the fast-paced world of digital marketing, making connections is a challenge for any business. But what if we told you there is a place where connections aren't just made, they're grown? Meet 2060 Digital, your premier Google partner and top-tier digital agency. We don't just follow trends, we set them. At 2060 Digital, we're not just another agency. We're your strategic